Well, another week in America and another newsroom gutted. Local journalists out of work, billionaires buying newspapers like Pokemon cards, and cable news melting down over a celebrity tweet. Meanwhile, Americans trust the media less than Congress. And yes, that's the same Congress whose approval ratings hovers somewhere between root canal and Nickelback reunion tour. Because here's the thing. The news isn't broken, it's owned. Remember my episode about the illusion of choice? Every day we're told we have endless choice. Fox, CNN, MSNBC, News Nation, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Facebook, TikTok. But trace the ownership lines and you'll find just a handful of giants, Comcast, Disney, Warner Brothers, Discovery, News Corp, Paramount, and a couple of billionaires who bought prestige newspapers for pocket change. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, Elon Musk owns Twitter, Robert Murdoch owns Fox and the Wall Street Journal, Patrick Soon-Chong owns the LA Times, and Mark Benioff owns Time Magazine. And suddenly, that fiery debate on your screen starts to look less like freedom of the press and more like a really expensive puppet show. They say it's for civic duty and legacy, but billionaires don't buy newspapers for journalism, they buy them for leverage. It's brand laundering, the modern day equivalent of sponsoring a charity gala, except instead of donating, you get to shape the national narrative. When labor unions strike, climate rules threaten profits, or a tax increase pops up, guess whose op-ed suddenly floods the airwaves? Theirs. And cable networks play along because the business model isn't truth, it's tension. Every shouting match you watch is a revenue stream. Conflict keeps viewers angry, anger keeps them watching, and watching keeps those ads rolling in. While billionaires hoard megaphones, local news dies in silence. Did you know since 2005, America has lost over 2,000 newspapers? There's entire counties that have zero reporters. That's not just bad for curiosity, it's bad for democracy. Without watchdogs, corruption grows unnoticed. City councils pass contracts no one reads, and people get their local news from Facebook posts written by your aunt's cousin's dog's groomer. You can't fact check a meme with 3 typos and a minion in it. But every major outlet learned the same formula. Simplify complex issues into emotional binaries, blame a clear villain, and end with a cliffhanger. Sound familiar? It's the Netflixification of the news cycle, except instead of waiting a week for the next episode, you just scroll 5 seconds further and find The War of the Way of Your Life, Part 47. We're not informed citizens, we're lab rats in an outrage casino. And both sides play the same game. MSNBC scares liberals about fascism, Fox scares conservatives about socialism, and both rake in the millions while the center quietly collapses. But it doesn't have to be this way. Support local independent journalism if you can. Subscribe to outlets that disagree with you to see the other side. Diversify your news diet like you would your portfolio. Because if the news is only serving confirmation bias, you're not a customer anymore. You're a product. So the next time a pundit tells you the media is biased, tell them, of course it is. It's divided by design. And then for the love of democracy, change the channel.